Hello, class, and happy Friday. We made it through our first week of remote learning, so congratulations there. Thank you for all those who've participated and given feedback. You guys done a really nice job with this, all right? So I'm going to switch things up a little bit today. I had originally on the schedule thought we would be learning how to multiply polynomials, but I wanted to take today to kind of review the last 2 days' lesson. All right, so today's going to be just kind of a review day. We're going to go through these review notes, and then I'll share out a quizzes link for you guys to practice on your own with some multiple choice questions. All right, so then on Monday, then we'll learn how to multiply polynomials. All right, so again, if you can print out this document so you can follow along as I'm going through this review. And then if not, right, I would get out a sheet of paper or take out your binder that you've been keeping your notes in and follow along that way, okay? All right, so here we go. And you should also look at your previous day notes and have those handy when you're doing this review as well, so you can kind of reference this as well. All right, so here we go. All right, so for directions for numbers 1 through 4, we're going to complete the chart using the following word bank, and each word is used only once. All right, so there are all our different terms that we can use to classify polynomials. All right, so we can see on our chart here, we got a couple of columns here. In that first column is the expression itself. In our second column here is going to be, we're going to give our polynomial its first name, and we're going to name it by the degree, which is its highest exponent. All right, and then in this last column here, we're going to name the polynomial by the number of terms. Okay, and that's going to be kind of the last name of our polynomial. We're going to call that. All right, so let's look at example 1 here. We have 3x to the third plus 5x squared minus 2x plus 10. All right, so if we're going to give it a first name based on the degree, right, we're going to look for the highest exponent. All right, on example 1 here, I see that my highest exponent is this number 3. All right, so if a polynomial has a degree of 3, right, this is going to be called a cubic. All right, and now, well, why don't we cross it off of our word bank here, right? We use up that term. All right, so now we're going to name this polynomial based on the number of terms, right? So number of terms are separated by plus and minus signs, right? So we have 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms, right? So anything 3 or more than 3 terms is going to be called a polynomial. All right, so let's look at example 2 here. Example 2, it says 5x plus 11. That's my expression, or that's my polynomial that I need to name. All right, so first I'm going to give it a name by the degree. Well, that's the highest exponent, right? So I don't see any exponents, but I have a variable, right? And if we recall, if there's a variable, that means I have an exponent, right? And if I don't see one, that's my little invisible 1. All right, so if my expression has a degree of 1, then it is going to be called a linear. All right, linear. Whoop, and I forgot to cross off polynomial. All right, so now I'm going to name this polynomial based on the number of terms, right? Well, I see 1 term, I see 2 terms, right? So if it has 2 terms, this is going to be called a binomial. Awesome. All right, let's see. Example 3, right? Our polynomial or expression is just the number 7. Okay, let's cross out polynomial 7. Well, I don't see a exponent. I don't see a variable, right? So if I don't have a variable, that means I don't have an exponent, which means my first name of this polynomial is going to be called a constant, right? Which is just a number, and that makes sense. 7 is just a number. Okay, and because it's just one singular term, it is a monomial. All right, well, if we use our process of elimination here, I have 2 blanks left. I have 2 words to use. All right, so Number 4, we have 2x squared minus 7x plus 3 is my expression or my polynomial. All right, so again, I'm going to look for the highest degree, which is going to be that number 2. And because my degree is 2, this is going to be called a quadratic. All right, and that means that this name of my polynomial based on the number of terms is a trinomial because there is 1, 2, 3 terms. All right, so now we're going to just do some more practice with adding and subtracting polynomials. All right, so that remember, you can only combine like terms, right, meaning same variables, same exponents, and the exponents are not added together. All right, so we're not going to touch any of the exponents, and we're just going to combine like terms. All right, so directions here say to simplify each polynomial by adding or subtracting. And I see another little hint, another little star here, right? So remember to distribute the minus sign if you are subtracting, all right? So that's the big idea, a key difference between adding and subtracting polynomials is to distribute that minus sign. All right, so let's look at number 5, all right? So at number 5, we have 4x squared plus 9, and we're going to add 2x squared minus 5 to that. All right, so if you recall from the notes from yesterday, right, if we're adding, we don't really need to change any signs, and we don't need to drop our parentheses. We can just combine like terms, right? So 4x squared plus 2x squared will give me 6x squared. And I have a positive 9 with a minus 5, right? So 9 minus 5 is going to give me a positive 4. Right? And 6x squared plus 4 is just 6x squared plus 4. I cannot simplify that any further. All right, so if you want to pause this video right now and try number 6 on your own, you should do that. If not, you can just follow along and do as I do here on the video. All right. So number 6, we have 2x squared minus 3x plus 4, and we're going to add 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 to that. All right, again, this is an adding one, right, which means we don't need to change any signs or drop our parentheses. All right, so then 2x squared plus 3x squared, well, 2 plus 3 is 5, so we get 5x squared. We have a minus 3x, and we have a minus 4x, right? Those are both terms of x's, so that means I can just put those together, all right? But again, anytime you have a minus, right, I always like to say to use your calculator, play it safe, all right? So I would use your calculator, all right, because you don't want to make any careless mistakes here. So a negative 3x minus 4 more x's, right, is going to be a negative 7x. All right. And it looks like I have a couple more terms to combine here. All right, looks like I have a positive 4 with a positive 1. Well, those are both just numbers, right? So 4 plus 1 is a positive 5. All right, so when I add these up, this is my final simplified expression. All right, now let's look at the last 2 examples here. All right, we have 7x plus 11 minus 2x minus 3. All right, so we're definitely subtracting here, right? So this is where I'm going to need to rewrite this problem out and distribute this minus sign. Okay, so here we get 7x plus 11 minus 2x. Well, minus a negative is going to become a positive. All right, so after you distribute that minus sign, now, just like above, we're going to combine like terms. So 7x minus 2x will give me my 5x. And a positive 11 plus 3 more is going to give me a positive 14. So now my simplified solution is 5x plus 14. All right, we got our last example, number 8. Again, if you want to pause this video and try it on your own and compare your answers afterwards, that'd be great. If not, just kind of follow along and kind of do as I do here. All right, again, we have 9x squared plus 2x minus 3, and we're going to subtract 7x squared minus 4x plus 1 from that. All right, and because this is a subtraction, I have to distribute that minus sign. All right, and that means everything afterwards is all going to change signs. All right, I don't touch anything beforehand because this minus is only going to everything afterwards. All right, so we get 9x squared plus 2x minus 3. All right, and now I'm going to change these signs, right? This positive 7x squared is really a minus 7x squared. This minus 4x is really a positive 4x because a minus and negative turns positive, right? And this positive 1 is really a minus 1. All right, so now that I dropped the parentheses and I distributed that minus sign to my second set of terms here, second set of numbers, all right, so now I'm ready to combine like terms. So now I have 9x squared minus 7x squared, right? This 7x squared is really a minus or a negative. All right, so if I take 9 minus 7, I'm going to get 2x squared. And then I have a positive 2x with a positive 4x, right? Those are just x terms, so I can put those together. Positive 2 plus 4 more is going to give me a positive 6x. All right, then let's use green here. I got a minus 3 and a minus 1. Again, I'm dealing with negatives. All right, sometimes those can get tricky. So again, I would recommend using a calculator, right? We got a negative 3 or minus 3, and we're going to minus 1 more from that. All right, we're going to take away another 1 from that. It's going to make it more negative, which means we're going to have a minus 4. All right, so my final simplified solution is going to be 2x squared plus 6x minus 4.